The following podcast episode might contain coarse language and subjects not suitable for younger audiences. Your discretion is advised.
Live from a not-so-sleepy little town comes a podcast for a mobile game. Really? Anyhow, your hosts, a content creator and an artist trying to come up with wild ideas while also talking about whatever. It's the Goosebumps HorrorTown TerrorVision podcast!
Bow down, bow down, before the power of Santa, or be crushed by Jolly Boots. Ho ho, Merry Christmas to you all, and no other holidays. The two other holidays, Hanukkah and Kwanzaa. I guess hello that to you as well, but I guess we'll say that near the end. Anyways, hi, welcome to the podcast. We're at the end of the year now, 2025. We're at the celebration period where we celebrate the time of the year where snow and festivities come about. Namely, it's this Christmas stuff because that's what everyone celebrates nowadays. So got that going. If you're wondering about the microphone this time around, I've decided to actually put on an actual microphone to the phone. So now you're not gonna, hopefully, won't be hearing me going in and out. But I don't know how it's gonna sound at the end of the day. So we'll see how this turns out. So it's just me this episode, unless I have someone else here, but I don't know.
I am the Terminator. Come with me if you want to live.
Arnold!
Oh,
What are you doing? Yeah.
get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper! Yeah.
Come with me if you want to live.
I was elected to read, not to. I was elected to lead, not to read. God, that is me. Anyways, yeah. So, how are you doing?
Could be better, but I'm not gonna complain.
Yeah. So, I got some Christmas-related stuff. I guess we can talk about. Namely, well, I guess we started with the Invader Zim thing, but how about Christmas specials? What kind of Christmas specials do you like back in the day? There were some I remember, like we mentioned this I think last year, but the Secret World of Santa Claus, I remember that was like a thing that would always air, and I'm just like,
Oh
gosh,
yeah, I
oh
love the Secret World of Santa Claus when I was younger. Like, out of all
yeah,
the Christmas related stuff I liked as a kid, that one was like top tier for me.
I still remember the song too. Santa, Santa, I love you. I think that was a French show as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was like a French Canadian show, I think.
Yeah,
Because I remember watching it. I think it was like back in roughly around like the 2010s.
I'm sure that's on YouTube that you can just watch. So it's not.
No, it is. It is.
Okay, so there we
It
go. We
is.
can just watch it on YouTube now to get back into the mood. The only episode I
Oh yeah.
remember is the first one because I keep seeing that every time, and then the other episodes I'm like, ah, crap. I forgot to watch it. Oh well. But it was the Santa training one where
Yeah.
he had to be, and then Grizzlebeard was just
Yeah.
like, I need to
I
stop
remember
that
that
Santa.
part. Yeah. Then I remember Grizzlebeard tries to do his Grizzlebeard shenanigans and ruin
Gr-
Santa's
gr-
chances of being Santa.
and Grizzlebeard all over the place.
Yeah, Grizzlebeard's all over the place.
Still love that joke.
And
Anyways,
the fucking elf of his Dudley just like stands there.
yeah, menacingly.
With a creepy ass smile.
Yeah. And then sometimes you would get these weird, not like the Christmas specials, like some of the episodes that your favorite shows has always has a Christmas special, right? Because it has to be the cliche. But one of the interesting things is sometimes you get to see Christmas movies be played, and sometimes they're the on to video, like the straight to TV movies. You know what I mean? Like they've never aired anywhere else. They don't air on DVDs. It's just like only on TVs you get to see this, right? Like the Happy Elf, I think I remember that was one. Uh, what was there was another one. The I guess the wacky. We mentioned this I think last year too. As what was it? Wacky Nutcrackers? The Nuttiest Nutcracker. That's what it was.
Oh, the Nuttiest Nutcrackers.
Yeah, I'm sure that was not
Yeah,
straight to TV.
the Nutty, the Nuttiest Nutcracker. God, that was a fucking fever dream.
Yeah. So again, there's like lots of stuff that you get to grow up on. Oliver the Other Reindeer. I remember that one.
Oh, I actually remember that because my mom and we actually used to have a debate on what the actual lyrics of the fucking Rudolph song was, and she was
Yeah.
like adamant, like she was adamant that it was Olive the Other Reindeer, like Olive,
Yeah.
not all of.
Yeah.
Like another, I also kind of reminds me of another debate I had with my mom regarding the Mad Hatter's price card because she thought it was measurements for the hat, but I said no, it's the fucking price card. And then when
Yeah.
we finally looked at up, it was the price card.
Yeah. What was interesting too is just like for that one, well, it was Olive was played by Drew Barrymore, wasn't she?
I think so.
Yeah. Anyways, there's that.
Oh, wait. Do you remember the Rhapsody Street Kids?
Grandma, you always know just what to say.
Christmas. I only no, I've never seen that, but I only talked about like people talking about it. Christmas, like, Grandma, what the hell's wrong with you? God, yeah. Again, there was some crap. I remember too. There was the one where, oh God, what was that? There's another bad one where it was like these orphan kids.
Oh, I think it was the Christmas tree or some
Yeah,
shit.
the Christmas,
Yeah, it
something
was the
like that.
Christmas
I
tree.
remember there was someone who didn't edit where it was like Santa Claus kind of going by and he shoots his Christmas magic, but then instead of the flash, the kids actually get new clothes. It's like it blows up, like Santa just shoots down. Yeah,
God.
it was just yeah. So there's a lot of, and I'm sure a lot of people would say like there's always that Christmas stuff they watch, like Charlie Brown Christmas is a classic. Everyone tends to see
Home
that.
Alone.
The
Home Alone was another one.
yeah. Um, Something that I always, the other thing, there's also the classic movie stuff too. One of the other weird things was, what was it? Just, I'm trying to think of these. There's just like a lot of them are coming a mile a minute right now, trying to piece together some Christmas stuff. Sometimes we watch new ones too, just to see if there's a new thing we keep want to watch in our catalog. But sometimes it's just like, nah, it's not the same.
I haven't really heard of any like fucking new like in terms of like, Christmas specials. Unless it's like one of those live action sitcom shows or whatever, I haven't really heard of anything in regards to like Christmas and the animation scene. But then again, I haven't watched animation in a fucking long ass time from like
Yeah,
any source, honestly. But
the only
I
new,
guess the I guess the consensus was just that Christmas isn't inclusive and all that other garbage.
yeah, I got the Santa Claus series.
Yeah.
Um, First
Oh
two
yeah,
movies were okay. Third one, not so
with
much.
Tom Hanks, right? The
Yeah,
Santa Claus.
yeah,
Yeah. There was also Jack Frost too. Not the horror movie one, but also the horror movie one, you
yeah.
know.
I mean, well, there's yeah. Like you talk about the fuck, what's that company's name? Rankin
Yeah,
Bass. That's what it was.
it was
Rankin
the
Bass.
kids movie.
Yeah,
Huh?
Rankin Bass, right?
No, 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 no. That's Frosty the Snowman.
No, Rankin Bass also did a Jack and the Frost thing as well.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about him. But no,
Yeah.
I wasn't talking about that Jack Frost. I'm talking about like the kids movie one with the dad who got transformed into a snowman.
Oh, that one. Yeah, God.
Yeah, that one. God,
Yeah.
there's so many Jack Frost movies now that you bring it up.
Yeah. I mean, it's a very generic name. What do you expect? It's like Susie Snowflake. Here
Well,
comes
unlike
Susie
Susie Snowflake.
Snowflake, and then there's a song about it too. Mind you, Susie spelled Suzy, not Susie, right? But still,
Yeah, but the difference between Susie Snowflake and Jack Frost is that, Jack Frost is a lot more prominent than Susie Snowflake because with the only iteration other than the fucking sing along song is just the Goosebumps iteration, where Jack Frost has like a fucking plethora from Guardians of the uh I forgot
yeah,
that
I
fucking
forgot.
Guardian one.
Guardians of the no, Guardians of the Rise
No,
of the
dude, you did the
Guardians.
same thing I said. You want to go straight to
Rise
the
of the
Guardians of the
Guardians is what it's
instead
called.
of fucking Anyway, there was that. There was the Rankin Bass one. There was the fucking one with the dad that turns into the snowman. There was the horror movie iteration. There was, I'm pretty sure there was another one that was based on the. There was another one that was kind of based on the Rankin Bass one. I think
Yeah,
it was another. I think it was like an actual Rankin Bass cartoon, but Jack Frost was like an asshole in that one.
yeah. Rake and Bask was basically the Christmas pioneers of like stop motion stuff. In fact, that became such a style that people try to mimic it nowadays.
Oh yeah,
Like like
especially
SpongeBob
like
used to did that tradition as well, right? But
yeah.
you know,
Oh, oh god, now I'm just reminded of fucking Santa Inc.
yeah. Let's not remember that one. One thing I hate about that particular show was that there was a moment that could have saved it, but then they said fuck it, and there was like, oh, there it went.
Yeah, I was thinking of that same thing, and I find it funny that you're like, oh, let's not bring it up, but anyway, let's bring it up.
Yeah, no, let's not. That was like years ago, back in 2021, I think.
Really, I thought it was like
No,
2020 or 2019 or some shit.
no, it was 2021. The reason I remember that was because when I was did her Oasis, there was a moment where it's just like, oh, Amy had to play Santa Claus, and I'm like, oh fuck, another like a pink woman playing. It's like, no, no, don't remind me of that.
Those damn pig women.
Ugh, God, don't make me sound like that. Fuck.
This is the episode where I get you canceled.
Yeah, thanks a lot, you Grinch. Speaking of, like, weird thing about the Grinch though, is supposedly now like McDonald's had a like an exclusive meal up in Canada last year, which was a Grinch meal, and what it consists of was like you can either get a Big Mac or 10 nuggies and then fries. But the gimmick with this one was the fries had the seasoned shakers that you'd put them in a bag with a seasoned salt and you would shake it and then you would it basically seasoned fries. And the seasoning in question was dill pickled flavor, and then the toy, the adult meal toy, was literally mismatching socks of Grinch attire.
Yeah,
So, but
and we're not talking about stockings that you hang by the fire
no, no, like actual
or hang by the
socks you
chimney with
wear.
care.
Yeah.
Yeah, these aren't stockings that you hang by the chimney with care. These are like actual wearable socks, but they're mismatched purposefully until they decided to bring out actual matching socks, which is just like, well, now
Well,
they're just being fucking lazy.
I was bringing it up is that now, yeah, they brought this back for this year again because I guess it did so well. But now they also allowed the Americans to have take of it, and now there's instead of like one mismatched socks of like one red and one blue, now there's like red, blue, green, and yellow colored socks you can get, and this packaging when it came originally, it was very generic, but the packaging now for the seasoned salts are actually Grinch style. So it's like, there you go. So it's like, again, there. It's weird to think how the Grinch was supposed to be this anti-capitalist character, and then they just turned him and like made him the opposite to what he is. I still remember that
Wait,
horrible
wait,
Walmart commercial.
wait a minute. Hang on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Something ain't right with that.
What?
The Grinch isn't anti-capitalist. He is just an asshole.
I know, but then they make him into a Christmas icon, which is like, why?
Well, yeah, the story itself was like a Christmas classic, sure, but that doesn't mean that, Anyway,
Why can't they make Grinch Night a fucking classic?
I know, right? Like that was like that was supposed to be like I guess the prequel to the whole Grinch Stole Christmas shit. I
I
think
guess
it was.
it wasn't scary enough.
Well, it obviously wasn't supposed to be that fucking scary. Like they were trying to like spook kids, not fucking traumatize them like the fucking clown bed in The Simpsons.
Yeah, you should die before you wake. I still love bringing that meme up every time I get.
Yeah, this ain't some fucking clown bed shit. This is just supposed to be like a spooky thing. But
Yeah.
yeah, that prequel didn't really get a whole lot of attention as compared to the fucking actual story of Grinch. I guess it's because it
Could be.
wasn't real. I don't think I don't think the Grinch Night one is an actual story by Dr. Seuss. I'm not sure.
It's hard to say, but like I guess the other thing too is that cartoon was a classic because it was read by Boris Karloff, which was if I'm saying hope I'm saying the name correct. He was the Frankenstein monster, wasn't he?
Boris Karloff was, well, yeah, he did. I think he
And
also
then
I think he also sang the Monster Mash too, if I'm not mistaken.
the classic song, You're a Mean One, sung by Tony the Tiger. You're a mean
Tony the
one,
Tiger.
Mr. Yeah, the guy who voices Tony the Tiger was the one who did the lyrics to the song, or at
No,
least
I get
sung it.
that. I just find it funny that you said it was
You're a bad banana
sung
with
by
a
Tony the
greasy fan he. I still remember there was a video where it was about the Grinch. It was like he reformed, but he wanted to listen to the new lyrics song, and it was like basically making fun of him. And he's like, "All right, turn this stuff off." He's like, "I can't." What do you mean you can't? I mean, I'm a dog. I can't do that. So yeah, and then he just
Okay,
leaves.
so
But
wait, was that like an actual video?
yeah, it was I forgot what it's called, but you know how people would roller scope themselves? There's an app that does that, but
Yeah,
there's
it
a
was the same. Wait, it was the same guy that did the Lanky Kong video
I
reaction
think
video,
so,
right?
yeah.
Where he was like, yeah, where he was like reacting to the fucking DK rap, and, and as soon as it got to him, he was like
What do you mean you
crashing
can't
out a
change
little.
it? Well, everything
Yeah.
is great, but then me is like fucking shit. Oh, by the way, if guns hurt, yeah, no shit. That does to all the guns. You're not special. Yeah, remember that.
Oh yeah, your gun's gonna hurt. Yeah, no fucking shit. Every gun does that.
Yeah. They brought that lanky thing back for the tease for what was it, Smash Brothers Remix, where he's just like added a character, like added Lanky Kong in the game, so they had to have Lanky free action type thing, and it's funny. But anyways, with the Grinch, the Jim Carrey movie, whether you love it or hate it, it's one of those not cult classic. It's a guilty pleasure, as it were. But that film is
Yeah,
so.
I kind of like it actually. I like it I like it leagues better than the fucking Cat in the Hat movie with Mike Myers.
I appreciate Jim Carrey's sacrifice because goddamn, can I imagine how many hours it has to take just to put that fucking shit on just to film? It's like,
Oh,
God. But
I'm
anyways,
actually reminded of like I'm actually reminded of this other animation I saw on YouTube. You remember the in Adult Swim that show called Ha Ha You Clowns?
I'm
Have you
familiar
have you
with
guys
it.
heard of it?
I'm only familiar. I haven't seen the show, but I am familiar with it because the I saw the video guy in question where he did the what do you call it? The Scooby Doo gang is just like your thing, my
Yeah,
Grinch.
it's the same animator. It's the same animator, but he also did one like for the Grinch, and fucking Jim Carrey as Ace Ventura was inside like a fucking mechanized Grinch suit. And he
Yeah.
was like crawling out of the ass of the fucking Grinch suit because the fucking opening for it was like stuck or something.
I have to see
It
this.
was,
You have to send
it
me the
was
link to this
so
now.
awesome.
I have to see this. So
And
send.
yeah, it was so fucking weird, but at the same time, he was like also throwing in a whole bunch of like Jim Carreyisms,
Yeah, yeah. It's supposed to
and
be a
everyone
joke
was
with
like
Ace Ventura
sort of
2 when he
laughing.
was in the robot Rhino and he was he had to go out the
Yeah,
back end, so everyone was watching. He's like,
yeah.
he's acting
It,
like he was
it
being
was
bird.
basically that, but a fucking Grinch suit.
Nice. What was interesting about that? So it's apparently celebrating its 25th anniversary. I'm sure it would have celebrated its 20th, but as you all know, that was during the pandemic. But anyways,
Yeah.
the this time around it is celebrating its 25th anniversary, so they're actually for a limited time, I think 1 day, which I think was the release date. Movie theaters are going to be playing that in theaters. So my brother was just
Oh,
like,
cool.
"Oh, we're gonna watch this." Like, so it's like, "All right, fine.
I
Why
can
not?"
imagine Jim Carrey's like, oh God, not this shit again.
Because, well, I mean, he reunited with Cindy Lou Who, right? And what's funny about her is that she actually became she has her own band now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Let me
Is
just,
this like
huh?
what kind of band is he rocking with?
Uh, Punk rock, I think. Well, what's great about it is that one of her songs actually became so popular it actually became on the radio.
Um, what's the song called, if you recall?
Well, it's like, oh
Because
no, heaven,
I don't know
no,
any.
we belong way down below. That song. That's
I
her.
I I never heard of it. I don't listen to the new music.
Oh, there's no new random damn music. I like my old classic bebop tunes.
I like to jive on the record player.
Jazz. That's the new hip thing. Yeah.
Oh, my
Ah!
hip.
Yeah. Hmm. Anyways, yeah, so we got that going on for ourselves. But yeah, it was interesting fact. It was just like, oh, she went to doing singing. Like she was singing in the when in the movie, and now she's singing in real life. Yep, it's so stupid saying that. I meant like as an adult, but you know what I mean. It's just whatever. But yeah, it's interesting. I'll say that. The thing with Jim Carrey, though, is just like I kind of mixed feelings with him over the years. He had like a brief moment where he wasn't doing acting because I guess life issues happened. He
Oh,
kind of came back, although he did something that was so it was so unnatural for him, which is that he always would decline doing sequels. Like he'd do a one-off, that's fine, but sequels is where he draws a line. He only did a select few of them just because of a favor, but otherwise he would just not do it. Except for one movie, and that was the Sonic one. It was because he loved playing Robotnik. He was like, hell yeah, I'll come back to do that again. In fact, the third one, he decided to play him and General Robotnik. So it's just like two Robotniks at
oh,
the price of one. And then one of the things
so
that
the oh, go ahead.
the one of the things that kind of blew off was the whole doing the joke they had the special shoots to kind of go off with the lasers, so they decided to do a dance like the dancing thing. And everyone was just doing that move.
So the actress who played Susie Lou Who is named Tyler Momsen,
Yeah,
and she's a part of a band group called The Pretty Reckless.
that's it. That's the band's name. Yeah, but the song "We Down Below," like "We Belong Way Down Below," that's the thing that's been blowing up on the radio. So most likely if you heard this song, it's like, oh, it's Cindy Lou. Yeah, it's like the only significance about. But the thing is, I've watched that movie so many goddamn times that I could just quote it. TikTok. Again, I get the what was wrong with it, but at the same time, it was one of those like I grew up with it. I mean, what can I say? I love it. I know it's bad, but come on. Anyways, yeah. So there's that. Um,
Well, we did talk about the Grinch Stole Christmas. We talked about a whole plethora of different Christmas specials we enjoyed as a kids. Uh,
talk about Skippy.
oh, there was something that Logan wanted to bring up.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I was gonna forget. Like, that's why I was kind of doing it in the first place. Like, oh, I forgot something. It's like, yeah, okay. So, here's a brief message from him.
Hey all,
Alistar here. Sorry I couldn't join in on the podcast live this time around. Unfortunately, I had to take matters into my own hands and attend some holiday importances this time around. But I still wanted to contribute to the podcast, and I think I found a way to do that. So, as we all know, it is the holiday season, and whenever I think of holiday anything, my mind immediately goes to Disney, like Disneyland, Disney World, all that. And there was something that I just now noticed amongst the things I was going to look through for a topic that I found interesting. Apparently, next year in spring, they're going to be making something called Disney Adventure World in Disneyland Paris, which will have a heavy focus on land theming, which I guess is one of their answers to Universal's Epic Universe lands, which is actually kind of cool that they're, finally answering the challenge with their own little thing. Right now, it looks like the main lands in focus are Frozen and the Lion King, the 1994 Lion King, not the recent one. And it's actually kind of interesting because Disney's never actually done a lot of theming lately with their lands. It's mostly just been like here's a ride based on this. Have fun. You know? So, among all the stuff that they have been doing, which is unfortunately, getting rid of some old classic rides for new ones, they're trying to make something new with stuff in Paris and I think in World too. I'm not sure if they're going to be starting on construction in for the evil place at any point in Florida. But other than that, they also have some advancements in robotics with an animatronic walk around Olaf, which might actually be going to that Frozen land in Disney Adventure World, along with a bunch of Avengers Campus stuff, which is in Disneyland, and another thing for entertainment, which is Disneyland After Dark, the 70 years of favorites. Anyway, that's my contribution. You have a Merry Christmas, everyone, and I hope to see you all next year. Farewell.
Thanks. Hope you had a happy holidays too. I just realized Jack
Yeah.
is not with us, but oh well. Or Jess. Yeah. Oh well.
They decided to go witch shopping with some friends.
As you do in the Christmas season, go to the Wiccans. Why not?
Well, funnily enough, Yule was actually a pagan holiday before.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, most holidays are pagan. The only thing that's actually Christian is Easter.
Actually, no.
Well, you're gonna ruin it for them too. They got nothing else. Every other holiday is pagan origin. Think about
Easter
it.
wasn't originally Christian either.
Like almost all the holidays you can think of came from pagan origin, at least one way or another. Halloween, yeah, pagan.
Well, there's only 3 that were pagan from my recollection, which is Halloween or Samhain, Yule, and Easter. And the reason why Easter is included in all this, because haven't you always find it weird that a lot of people can pair a whole bunch of fucking Easter bunnies and chickens and eggs and shit with the reincarnation of Christ? Like, did
I always
nobody
thought that was
like
something from
think how
the.
that's weird?
I always thought that was something the British people, well, not the British people, sorry, the Swedish people brought in.
No. The origins of the whole chickens and rabbits and eggs and shit is that they're all symbolic of the pagan goddess of fertility named Estra.
I mean, that's why it's
So
called
that
Easter, is because
means
of
that
Estra.
Yeah, it was because of a pagan goddess named Estra. That's why you see a whole bunch of rabbits and chickens and eggs and shit. They're all symbolic of fertility.
Well, she's the goddess of spring and dawn, with with the rebirth and fertility. I guess it would make sense because
Yeah,
because spring is that time where the plants come back to life. So it's just like, yeah, I can see
yeah,
that.
it's all about springing things back to life.
But then those darn Christians had to come in and been like, this is where Jesus came back. Jesus
Yeah,
was
they're
born on
always
the.
the fucking pagan holidays and changing them around. But we wouldn't have the holidays we have now if it weren't for the Christians, technically. So,
I know, but Christmas is the only type of holiday
But,
that everybody celebrates that isn't religious.
I feel like the Christians are kind of like the four kids of holidays, you know?
I guess I can see where you're at, especially when you come across those signs that some people put on their lawns. I don't want to say what it is, but you've probably seen them.
I You're probably gonna have to show me later or something. I don't know.
I can see if it actually exists. I don't want to say it online because, I already got myself canceled about discriminating against pink women or purple women.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks, by the way. But it's some people would know what I'm talking about. It's a oh God, it was a song too. Why? I'm
Okay.
being so vague about this, but it's just like honestly, it's just saying if like okay, like I came across a sign, somebody was just like, put the Christ back in Christmas. It's just like, should I tell them? No, I'm not gonna ruin it for them. It's like, but excuse me, you know that it wasn't Christmas holiday.
Like in the whole debate of like how it's pronounced, like should it be Happy Holiday, should it be Merry Christmas, should it be Xmas? Like in my personal
Xmas is the
opinion,
cool way of
I
saying it, though.
I don't really care which pendulum I don't really care where it fucking like goes, right? Cuz I'll say any one of them. I don't really fucking care. It's
The
just like I can sort of understand every fucking side on that debate though.
yeah, the
Like
only
you have like one side of the aisle where they're afraid that, saying anything other than Merry Christmas is considered like erasing Christianity. And given the climate of today's politics, I can understand where they're coming from with that. Then you have the other side of the aisle where they complain that, Christmas is too restrictive and it doesn't include some of the other holidays like say Kwanzaa or um, Hanukkah. And I can understand where they're coming from in that regard because I'm pretty sure there's also some Hanukkah related episodes of TV shows. I know one of them from the top of my head is like Family Guy, but
there's
honestly,
also a
I
horrible movie
even
which we'll
Kwanzaa.
not mention.
Huh?
Then there's also a horrible cartoon movie that we will not mention.
Little cartoon movie. Uh,
The technical
yeah,
now.
Yeah, sorry, my mind's kind of drawing a blank at the moment. It's either because I have like really poor memory or I'm just stupid.
Eight Wacky
Anyway,
Nights.
oh, Eight Crazy Nights.
Yeah. Oh, sorry we mentioned it. I know. I'm sorry we ruined it. Uh,
No, it's all good. I
but
totally
no,
forgot about that.
no
We should
crazy
talk about how
Kwanzaa's.
stupid that was.
There's no crazy Kwanzaa episode. And actually, no, I take that back. There are some special episodes, like Proud Family did a Kwanzaa, I think. I'm not sure. The problem is though, like Hanukkah and Kwanzaa takes place in December, so it makes sense to say Happy Holidays to kind of combine them together.
Yeah,
The problem is
yeah.
though, Christmas can be celebrated by everybody. Hanukkah can only be celebrated by the Jewish community, and Kwanzaa can only be celebrated for African Americans. That's
I don't
literally
even
it.
know what I don't even know what Muslims celebrate. in terms of the holidays. I
I
don't know
think
that you can do.
Ramadan is. I think that's Ramadan, but I
Oh
don't think
yeah, I forgot Ramadan
Ramadan
is like.
the Ramadan's not in December. It's like in February, January. So it's something along those lines. I don't remember, but yeah.
I
But
forgot that Ramadan was a thing. See, I told
yeah,
you I was stupid. Anyway, yeah, but Christmas is celebrated in many different parts of the country, which include Mexico, Japan,
yeah.
France.
In Japan, they used to say they have KFC as the special meal of the day because of a promotion. In fact, they went ahead and said that Colonel Sanders is the Santa Claus over there. No, it's true fact. Go look it up.
I can imagine Colonel Sanders rocking up on Japan with like fucking bags full of chicken.
Yeah, it's a thing. In fact, there's like they have these meals that they sell, like they can sell, but it's like you have to get into a lottery system in order to get it. Just like it's that pat. It's like everyone has to. You know how people like to have turkeys for Thanksgiving? It's like literally in Japan, it's like it has to have KFC for Christmas. It's just the thing to go. And that's because in Japan, they're mostly Buddhist faith, so Christmas wasn't really a thing because, again, they usually associated with that of Christianity after they took over from the pagans. But um, yeah, it's interesting that they kind of adopt it in a weird way, and it's just this interesting tradition. So everyone has interesting traditions as far as Christmas stuff goes, right? Like Christmas
I don't know why
songs, things
Japanese
of that
culture is
nature.
just so damn amusing to me.
Yeah. Speaking of Christmas, though, um, there is something that I wanted to announce that I figured might as well do that now because I think I'm hoping by the time this podcast comes out in December that the announcement's already been made. But if you recall, I want to say I don't know when exactly this was at was I want to say in the October episode, which was like what I have no brain and I must think where I've announced what I was doing. And one of the things
Yeah,
was Holifears. And
yeah.
Holifears is my take on choose your own adventure style book series that I wanted to do because I wanted to be creative and maybe have something kind of come out of this. And I'm happy to announce the first book because as of the recording of this video, the I have finally gotten the full like I basically gotten the story done, and I had someone kind of do my be a copy editor for me, and they're finally done this. So now I just have to reread it, make sure everything's set up with the pictures, and then it's 100% done. So it's like gold, ready to be submitted to Amazon for sale. But the announcement to the first book is, and I'm hoping to get the commercial out by this point, but it's gonna be called the first book of many is gonna be called A Silent Nightmare. And what's interesting about this one is for those who've been in the channel would know our obsession with one particular character to the point where we've talked about her God knows how many fucking times. But with that in mind,
Yeah, it's basically borderline obsessive.
yeah, so I basically come to the point where it's just like, and friendship ended with Susie Snowflake. Now Carol Mistletoe is my best friend. But anyways, I've decided a new character named Carol Mistletoe with the assistant help with Vampire here, uh, with the
Hi.
dogs and all that stuff. And with her, what you'll find is that with this book, there's nods to the Goosebumps series as a whole, but not 100%. There's there's little references and Easter eggs to other things, but for the most part, it's on its own type of footing. And what you'll notice is that this character is more unhinged than Susie has ever been. Like Susie's more of that happy-go-lucky like character that could do stuff, but she's not malice in the whole thing. Carol's on the other hand is just you know what? She is more annoying. If you go to one route, it is annoying, and I can like the guys on the podcast here. You can go ahead and say your piece because we did a reading a test reading of this, and I was pretty surprised at how well you guys did as far as how far you went. But yeah, your comments was with her was if your whole intention was to make her, what was it, unpleasant to be around, then congratulations, you did your job.
Because that was also kind of the same thing with Susie Snowflake's design. She was originally a character who was like completely unbearable because she was so sickeningly sweet that it bordered lines on fucking cheesy Christmas fucking
Yeah,
uh
yeah, the cliches, right? But
yeah,
what's funny about
Christmas cliches.
yeah, what's funny about Carol though is that remember when earlier this year we talked about how there was references to like Mr. Ring-a-Ding and all that, and now you're like, oh, that's what you mean. Now I see it with the design for her, but it's funny just because of my fact. The thing is, with this series, what you'll find is that I've started to enjoy the characters I've been making for it, and there's a bigger picture going on here. People who listen to this podcast will have secret thing that people who first read this will have no idea on. But these books can be played either by yourself or with other people, so it could be like an RPG of sorts. The thing is, um, because it has a life system and all that. But one of the interesting things about it is what you'll find when you read this book that has been illustrated by Vampire under a pseudonym name, but also another artist I've commissioned that I had worked with previously, and I've enjoyed their work, so I was just like, why not? They help, and with that being in mind, what you'll find is that the book, when you read it, can stand on its own, but there's something off about it. And reasoning of why that is because, as I mentioned in my announcement video, that the inspirations to this book series was, to give yourself goosebumps, which is an obvious, like when you see the cover art to this, you're like, ah, of course. But the other inspiration is a series in the Fortunate Events. And if you know anything familiar with that book series and how that goes, you might have an idea where we might be doing with this, but let's just say there might be a secret society behind this, but with involved. I won't spoil to who they are exactly or who's involved in this, but when the stories get revealed in due time, you'll start to see this story is a little bit more to the meets the eye. I'm hoping, anyways. Again, it's just the first book's out, but I've been already been planning the additional ones, so we'll see how this turns out. From what I've gathered from you guys, plus the person who was doing my re-edits of the book, you guys seem to enjoy it for what it was, and that makes
Yeah.
me happy. That makes me seem like I did a good job with. It's not like I did a crap like it's shit. So, and part of the reason why I wanted to do this was because again, podcasts was a big reason, but mainly the big reason for this was partially due to the fact of my involvement with the game Goosebumps HorrorTown with the first ever game first ever thing I got involved with, which was Shop to Drop Dead. So it's funny how I started off with Christmas and then I start my first book off with a Christmas one. And again, it's an accomplishment within myself that I'm happy with that I finally got something like this done. I'm only hoping that you guys enjoy it. The price for it is very manageable. In fact, I would say it probably costs the same as much as a Goosebump book nowadays. And it's about 180 pages. There will be illustrations in there, so it's like, why not? I don't think it's going to cost an arm and a leg. I am going to try to see if I can get this also in digital format, but I have to look into the program and getting it set up because I think one of the things I wanted to do was when you're reading it, you can just click on the button and it'll take you to that page so you don't have to scroll, because that's horrendous. If I can manage to do that, then it should be fine. I think there is a way to do that, but again, I have to look into this because this is our first book run, so this is like trying to set the establishment. Once the establishment's done, then everything else will be easier because it's like we know what we're doing kind of thing. So
I
we'll see
know
how
that
that turns out.
there are several different like online reading things where they have like a little option to jump to a specific page. That it is possible.
Yeah, so I think the program that I have to use, I think allows you to do that, so it should be manageable. So it should be available online as well. I think if it's available online, you'll see it in colored, but if you're getting it via book wise, it'll be in black and white. But it will be creamed colored because I think having it be white is like pure like blinding, and also because again trying to match with the Goosebumps aesthetic. I think it's a little bit bigger than the Goosebump book. I think just by a bit because I think it's 5.5 to 8.5 in length, so it's a bit it's slightly bigger than I think it might be slightly bigger, but I don't know. I haven't measured a Goosebump book myself, so but it's close enough, I think. But yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, and the other thing too I wanted to add is that the main character to this story, so we have Carol, who's your antagonist in this game. I'll give the synopsis to it, but basically, uh, the character you're going to play as is a character by the name of Sarah Miller, who is a 16-year-old girl. If you're familiar with our first episode of this podcast, which was a Barry update woo type of thing, I think that was what it was called.
Yeah, I
But
think so. Yeah.
yeah, it was with the Cuddle Bears thing. We introduced a character that was also named Sarah. That's literally the design we're taking. So I just basically took that design and was like, guess what you're going to be turning into? Yep, you're my main character now. So yeah, so that's the character you're going to play as in this one. And she has a little sister, a 10-year old, so 6 years difference, named Susie. So Susie Miller. And you might be thinking, Susie, huh? It's just like, yeah. And if you're thinking, if you have any objections to, or I'm trying to think of the proper word for it. Needless to say, if you're familiar with Goosebumps, like, is there going to be a reference to HorrorTown? The answer is yes. If you go to a certain direction and you decide to end on a certain way, one of the bad endings is going to imply that Susie in this book is Susie Snowflake in the game. It doesn't straight out say, "Oh, I'm from HorrorTown." No, it's when you read it, you kind of go, "Oh, okay." So again, it's like implication thing, like how in the game, it's implied that Donna is dead. They don't flat out say it, but they kind of heavily hint at it with the
Yeah.
skeleton in the fridge, which makes absolutely no sense, but whatever.
Yeah. He would most likely be like sort of preserved because he's like frozen and shit.
Yeah, like again, that's what my theory is. If we haven't talked about that update yet, so I will hold off on my tongue with that because I'm sure I'm going to bring that up when we get to there. But yeah, needless to say, Carol's interesting. Like basically with Carol, if you're a fan of this Goosebumps stuff, you'll love this update for sure because there's parallels to two of the characters, but she stands on her own thing. And what you'll notice is
Yeah.
that if you go one direction, which by the way, most of these guys have went to the One Direction. She'll act in a certain way, which, as they pointed out, is very annoying. And only her in this particular it talks like this. And then if you go to another direction, she starts talking normal, like the front basically falls off, and you'll find out that she has these little quicks of talking a different. Okay, I'll spoil it. So, in the book, she is supposed to be based off of rubber hose aesthetic, so like 1930s style, right? And
Yeah.
due to that, there are slang that she says, and You might think, oh, there's the one or two things there, right? No, no. I researched this thing. I made it so that she talks like a 1930s slang cartoon, and it's like, holy shit. I'm reading this and I don't even understand what the hell she's saying. There's a joke in there that kind of does that, but if you know the slang terms, if you look it up, it makes sense for what she's saying. But it's like, again, it's just like, holy shit, this is so annoying. What the fuck are you saying, woman? Please. I can't understand you. But yeah, but anyways, with her, you'll also understand that she's been around the block for a while, so she starts picking up other slangs from different eras. So if you go the other direction, sometimes if you upset her or tick her off, she might end up saying things in different eras, like, like stuff of that nature. So it's like, okay, so again, I enjoyed writing the dialogue for this character and her mannerisms, and honestly, I'm hoping to bring her back again, and I have an idea of how I'm going to do that, but I won't spoil anything too much because that's in the near dear future. But needless to say, I'm already working on the second book, and I'm liking how I have this next antagonist is going to be, which I think it's just like, you know, one of the joys I have is trying to come up with a holiday and figure how to connect it into the book without it being classic, like, oh, it's Easter, therefore rabbit, that type of thing, or like, oh, it's St. Patrick's, therefore it must be a leprechaun, right? I'm not gonna do that cliche thing. I'm gonna try to be original, but also pay tribute to those elements. So I'm hoping it
Yeah.
comes through, but. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. As far as when it's going to be released, I think I've made the announcement. Like, if you see the trailer for this, it makes the announcement of when it is. I have an aim where I'm going to be playing it. Unfortunately, it's not going to be released in December, as you might think, because it's too close. It is going to be early next year, and there may be a reason why it's being released at a certain way, like and on a certain date why it's being releasing there, and it could be a hint to the next book. I won't say anything more, but I'll leave it to you. So yeah, if I said it, but otherwise keep an eye out for it. But yeah, I'm enjoying this series, and I hopefully you enjoyed the book. I'm looking forward to seeing your reactions and what you guys think, and I'm hoping to see people within the community actually make reviews of it, and I want to hear their honest opinions to say if it's shit, to let me know so I can know how to change it for the next installment. But yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's a lot of Christmassy stuff, and we're still gonna go on with it because now we have to talk about our our one of our main subjects, right? Which is
Yeah.
the
The
update,
update of the day.
which is the only other holiday update we have yet to talk about for Christmas, and that's Attack of the Christmas Presents. This was our first ever update that we've got, as far as, well, not really up. You know what I mean? It's like Christmas, first ever Christmas update. So
Yeah, I think it was like the first update. Wait, oh yeah, it was the first Christmas update. Yeah, because
because
I
it was the fourth
remembered it as
book.
being like a yeah, because I also remembered it being like an introduction to like how the crafting stations were.
Yeah, yeah. So this introduced the idea behind making um I'm gonna move my mic for a moment, so just bear with me on this. It's reminds me of one of the interesting
Huh?
concepts that came out of this was release of the upgrade system, if I remember correctly, and that was through the tree.
Oh yeah, the fucking yeah, it was like sort of like
A
a
monster tree.
progression system.
Yeah, it was a monster
Yeah, it
tree,
was a progression
and
system.
you had to take currency for it, and the more you upgraded, the more it cost. But the tie to that is when you upgrade it, it drops better items. So eventually it gets better and better. So it kind of was like this: should you upgrade or not? What I appreciated by at the end of the update is that they allowed you to upgrade it via coins, so it's not like you're stuck with whatever you were stuck with. So, and I
Yeah,
do like how,
it was also later brought back during the Trick or Trap, I believe.
yeah, there were some updates trying to bring that thing back, and yeah, didn't we talk about that? No, we did not talk about the upgrade system for that thing, I think. So
I don't know. I don't recall if we brought it back. I don't know
we
if we
might
talked
have,
about the
we
giant
might have
jackal
meant
or
that
not.
was the last update. God, can you imagine? That was the last video we talked about, and yet we forgot already. Is that unforgettable?
Well, yeah, I guess it was kind of forgettable. The upgrade system was a forgettable
Dropped
system in
seeds.
general.
Yeah, it looked cool, don't get me wrong, but it only dropped seeds, even at the end. And we talk about what? You can't even give us haunted pumpkin seeds, and then by the end of it, they're like, okay, here are your haunted pumpkin seeds. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for giving us that. God. But yeah, this was one of the first instances of this, and I think they stopped doing it because it was so confusing for people who don't know what they're like, because it's not introduced in the main core of the game. So it was just like, how do I do that? Like when the Beast from the East update, which we'll talk about in the future, when it came out, I keep coming across people going like, how do I get this thing? It doesn't show me. And it's like you gotta click on the tree and upgrade it. And you're like, oh, that's how you get the grove. It's like, yeah, they don't tell you because again, the game's dead now. I mean, Facebook doesn't work anymore, so it's just. But anyways, I digress. So this update introduced a new character with the name of Chris, or I guess Santa, evil Santa,
Yeah, he's kind of going through like a fucking identity crisis at the moment.
who wants to be a guitar player. Which in my update, I ended up having him do the Jingle Bell Rock animation, which was like cool Santa. Yeah. But yeah, when it comes to Chris, he had an identity crisis. When it first came out back in 2018, I had I didn't bat an eye to it. When it came back in 2019, I immediately had Joker vibes.
Wait, didn't it also introduce Uncle Sater as like an actual playable character?
As a monster, yeah. Like he was in the title screen in the background, and yeah, this was when they brought him into the game fully. And
Yeah.
it was post update for New Year's, I think, and then, well, I mean, not really New Year's, but like near the tail end of the update, they introduced Seder in their game, and then they kept him permanently after the fact, and then added him to the bar scene, so the old tavern, sorry, yeah, but yeah, there's that. But one of the interesting things that came out of this was the short stories and kind of combining them into one big narrative, because this was
Yeah.
based off of the more and more and more tales that give you goosebumps.
Yeah. There was a few of the stories that were implemented into that, but
Name
I don't think the Gronks were featured in that one, were they?
No, there were four books that weren't featured. Gronk's was one of them. The Double Dip Terror was another one.
And the fucking Ice Vampire was another one. I know
Ice,
that.
yeah, Ice Vampire, and then there was, oh God, there was one more. I can't figure it out what it was. It was that unforgettable. I can't remember. Quickly, look it up. Quick, to the internet. But yeah, otherwise they mentioned everything else, including our favorite girl. But she didn't get featured. She was mentioned.
Yeah. I don't even think Jack Frost was featured, was he?
He was.
Really?
Why I
What did
Hate
he look
Jack
like?
Frost. Well, no, it was basically Mr. Mortman was influenced by it.
Well, but Jack Frost didn't actually show himself, did he?
It
Like
was
as like a
talking about,
character.
like, he
Did-
kind of talked about it, like,
But did he,
like cold,
but did he
icy
have a
cold.
character portrait?
No, he didn't have a character They couldn't be bothered for. Hell, they couldn't even bother to make Marty his monster form. It was only like until after I bitched in the future that they did that. So. Okay, yeah. So I remember the last one they didn't include wasn't So the ones they haven't included was Don't Sit on the Gronk, the Ice Vampire, the Double Dip Horror, and the last one was Nutcracker Nightmare.
Oh yeah, of course.
So the
I think you
other,
wanted to include that in the fucking cuckoo clock, if I remember correctly.
I think I remember that. Yeah, I think I remember. I don't remember.
Yeah, because you wanted to include it. You wanted to include the whole time concept.
Yeah, I guess.
There was something similar. That was something similar to Nutcracker Nightmare onto Cuckoo Clock.
Yeah, but yeah, I do love how they kind of tied everything together, like how the monster on ice, Marty gets the item. So how this played out was it started off with Santa's helpers, which was the kids were kind of minding their own business, wanted to get toys, and then the mayor's is like, you want to help make snowman? He was like, yeah, mayor, we can do that. So they do that, and then they meet Chris being creepy Santa. And then Lucy does her inner Karen. It's like, I'm going to talk to your manager.
I want to speak to the manager.
Yeah. So she does that and apparently got him fired, and then hence starts his Joker act.
This Joker art.
Society must pay. But, anyways, the main
I
story.
hate that we live in a society.
Yeah, so the main story was basically Attack of the Christmas Present, as the name implies. But how it went about was basically after Chris got fired and he hated doing the Santa Claus bit, but it was only because, he looks the part. So he,
He also need to pay bills and shit.
yeah, because he wanted to be a bass player, but he couldn't do that. But one of the things that came out of this was Slappy wants to do Slappy things, and he's upset. It's like, oh, Christmas, yeah, I don't like Christmas. We should make it into a Slappy holiday. So he ends up convincing Chris to do something for him, which was basically put coal into the Christmas presents themselves. And at first, Chris was just like, "Oh, of course. When these kids open up their present, they'll see nothing but coal. That'll show them." Meanwhile, he was unaware that Slappy basically possessed these coal with the special "You and I are one now" spell.
Oh, the
So
Kurumari shit.
yeah, the Kurumali Omana, that type of shit. Um, yeah, so he possesses the presents, so the presents become alive. And one of the funny dialogues that came out of this was, hold on, like, he was talking, what was it? Dustin was talking to Lucy, he says, like, wait a minute, do they actually have insides? It's like, ew, Dustin, don't think about that. It's like, no, but he brings up a good point, though. What happens if you do open the present? Is there, like, guts and shit down there? But,
It's a paradox.
yeah,
How do they shit?
God, how do they eat? How do they open their mouths? Anyways, but one of the funny things that came out of this was, yeah, so the concept behind it was interesting enough. Like the present animations were cool, as well as Chris's, and then like the setup was interesting. The prize was what was it? The present tree, which again was interesting enough. It was interesting that they talked about the crafting items in the storyline. Like they talk about, oh, you get this, like, you bring these items in and you can get these cool presents. Like I want to get the dog toy, right?
Yeah, that's kind of what I said about the whole introduction to the crafting thing.
Yeah. So again, Santa's workshop or whatever it was called. No, it's something along those lines.
Yeah, it was the Santa Toy Workshop or something.
Yeah, that sounds about right. But anyways, the
I,
other thing that Slappy did.
I have it fucking named on the one of my things here. Let me see.
So what's interesting too is that you mentioned how Seder was introduced in this update, and although he was he's
Santa's
introduced,
Toy Friend.
yeah, so he was introduced separately, with it after the update ended, but he was associated with this update because Slappy's one other gimmick was that he was giving these certain presents to certain people by putting the letter S there, like as if he was just being so sneaky about it. So certain characters got certain presents. So one of the presents was Marty, who got a present, which was these ice skates, which is a reference to Monster on Ice. where if you wear them, you turn into
Yeah,
a
they're
monster.
called the monster skates.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're called
monster
the monster
skates.
skates.
Yeah, and what's funny about it is that they mention this in the future with which we'll talk like in the talk about with uh the Valentine's Day update with Fever Swamp and
Yeah.
yeah, and then introducing to the other stuff too in the future. But anyways, I find it interesting that they have a monster form for him, which looked more like a werewolf, I think. And
Yeah, it did kind of look more like a werewolf.
yeah,
But like in the same vein as like the old classic Universal movie monster ones.
yeah, the Wolf Man.
Yeah.
But what's interesting about this is funny that it leads into the next book, which was Marshmallow Surprise, where he basically is just like, ah, shit, I bumped into Mrs. Marsh. She's so mad. And he's just like, Marty Ricardo, what a nice surprise to see you here. It's like, I'm sorry. It's like, oh, don't think about it. No, don't worry about it. Why don't you come in for a nice hot cocoa? Right. And,
I actually that makes the whole werewolf thing a whole lot more funnier because in the story of Marshmallow
yeah,
Surprise, I remember that
that's,
in the story there was a
that was
witch who served like hot cocoa to a bunch of kids, but it turns out that the
the kids were
marshmallows were
werewolves.
or the cocoa itself was like no, the cocoa itself was like hexed
Yeah,
with
well, that was
something. But but at the end of the story, it turns out that it was ineffective because it doesn't work on werewolves. So then the kids turn into werewolves and just eat the witch.
So what happened? Yeah. So what happened here was the cocoa was marshmallow surprise. It's just like, well, there's no marshmallows in here. So it's like, yeah, of course not. So why is it called marshmallow surprise? Because it turns your bones into marshmallow. Right. And he's just like, is your
Yeah.
bones getting soft? He's like, no, actually, it feels pretty good. She's like, what? And then he turns into a monster. He's like, as a matter of fact, I don't think you'd be doing that. I said, what are you? I'm Monster Marty, you old hag. It goes after Mrs. Marr afterwards. His human form, by the way, not his monster form. Monster form didn't come until like 2021, but still,
Yeah,
I still
the
remember
one
that
where he
react.
threatens to like
I
punch
still
your
remember.
face in for your lunch money.
I remember. Yeah, I remember that reaction. It's like, what? Oh, boo! What the hell? I want to see monster form. What is this nonsense? Yeah, it's like, give me your lunch money, Mar. It's like, oh no, But yeah, so then that happened.
Give me
So
your lunch money.
after that, he's like, yeah, you know what? These monster skates is a probably interesting thing. I'm gonna take it with me, right? And what was funny about it is that when they introduced the monster skates again in Werewolf of Fever Swans, which we'll talk in the future, one of the interesting things that came out of it was they also had to introduce the idea of like in case people didn't play the monster like this update, they had to go, well, maybe he drinks the potion and that turned him into a monster, right? It's just like just in case I'm gonna put this in here. It's just like
Wait, you
okay, I
said
see.
werewolf. Wait, you keep saying werewolf of Fever Swamp, but I think you mean to say Full Moon Fever.
No. Werewolf of Fever Swamp is the one where you talk about with Courtney King and Will, right?
Oh, well, you brought up potion, and I thought that's
Yeah,
what you were
because
talking
at
about.
some
Because
point
that's
he's
just because
like, I'm
that's
gonna
the one that
scare her
I played.
straight. Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna scare her straight. So he goes back to his monster form, and it does nothing to her. She's like, you know what? You looked scarier before then. You know,
Oh wow,
Marty.
what a fucking
Yeah, yeah. But anyways, the talk off topic there. So, anyways, they had other presents that got introduced. The other one that got introduced was to Mrs. Dark, which was the Holly Jolly
the
tape,
spaghetti system.
which
Yeah.
which is funny, by the way, to mention. It was what was it called? Susie Snowflakes and Cookie Highway Speedway Zone shit.
Sugar Cookie Speedway Zone. Yeah.
That's it. That's it. So when I heard this, I was like, that sounds like a Sonic level. And sure enough, turns out that it's because it's referencing a bloggers be. I think it was point of. It was a website of a person who talks about these books and whatnot, and mostly it's Point of Terror. But anyways,
Yeah.
the person in question ended up coming across and he was like, "Holy fuck! I didn't realize they referenced me." So it's like, yeah. So what must have happened was they were doing their research. They must have come across his website and he's like, you know what? I'm just gonna put this in here as a little nod. So because the gimmick when he was doing the more and more tales that give you goosebumps reading is that he would name every short story as if it was a Sonic level. So when it came to Holly Jolly Holiday, it was Sugar Cookie Speedride Zone. right? So in that story, it was very short, by the way. It wasn't it didn't take much into it, but unfortunately, what happened there was they read. It's like what happened in the story. It's just like they watch the film, they keep watching the film. They wonder why they keep watching the film, but they keep going into Susie mannerisms. And then at some point, she's like,
Yeah.
"What the hell am I doing? Why am I watching this stupid shit?" And then getting pissed
And that's
off.
why, and that's why Mrs. Dark has Vietnam flashbacks when she saw fucking Susie again.
But then she failed because she got turned into the Susie.
Same with Lucy too. She had a bit of Susieism.
Yeah, not as worse since it's dark. She got the pink hair and everything. But yeah, it's funny how that character became a
Well,
thing.
Lucy also had the fucking pink hair shit
And
going
the
on too.
freckles, yeah. But hers was darker.
Yeah,
But
what the fuck is?
anyways, what was fun? Yeah, so there was that. Eventually, they tried to stop the presence, and then Mr. Mortman comes in, being the typical cliche horror trope where it's like some guy's like, I know what's going on, I know all the answers. So he's just like,
Oh yeah, the
oh,
number.
yeah, obviously this Cole is being possessed by evil, mischievous spirits. You gotta trap him. So he's like, let's take the robotic toy and just kind of stuff make a haunted toy. He's like, no, I made this. It's like, come on, Dustin, sync of the world we're seeing here, right? So, anyways.
Oh, don't you know you have to help us save the world?
Yeah, so anyways, then Mr. Mortman gets his present, which was, in this case, a snow globe, which was in reference to why I hate Jack Frost. So he'd keep dreaming
Yeah.
about how he's like, oh man, I had a most wonderful dream where I was playing the snow with Jack Frost. He's like, oh, I'm so cold. What the fuck, right? And he starts realizing
Yeah.
that, he talks about how he went down this cold, dark, like drip, and then he's just talking about how he was friends with Jack Frost, who had this icicle fingernails. It's like really like it kind of does a good job description to make you feel very cold, like just to hint it on. It's just like, yeah, this is like winter time, right? But anyways, at some
Yeah.
point it doesn't work on him because like, oh, thank God I'm a monster because this thing is obviously glitched, right? And he's just like, oh. Like, I wonder who sent this. Wait a minute, I think I have an idea. And then Curly's like, oh, Slappy, I think he's onto you. Yeah. So, anyways, everyone kind of does their whole kumbaya after the monster tree kind of evolved into a horrendous thing. And then Mortman comes in, like Slappy's just like, oh well, at least I had fun as I can. And he's just like, Mortman comes in, and is like, oh yeah, Merry Christmas, Slappy. Oh, I got your gift, Slappy. Merry Christmas, by the way. And he's like, a lump of coal.
Oh, but it's malignant coal.
You would know that would
Oh.
be bad, Mortman. Yeah, it's just like it's just like it's a fun little ending to that. And then of course when it came to Seder, how that introduces like you got to learn about Seder, kind of like yeah he does this thing. He's tried breaking into it like he gets his gift and he's just like, oh, I got a gift from a guy, someone named S. It's just like, where did I put that gift? Fuck, I don't remember. And it's not he's just like, in your car, you
Oh
moron.
yeah.
So
Didn't
he's
he
like,
also like
oh,
accidentally
that's
lock
what,
himself
yeah.
out?
I'm sorry?
I'm I'm pretty sure he also accidentally locked himself out of his own
Yeah.
car because
So
one of his
he's, yeah,
ambulances.
yeah. So he's trying to pick his lockout, and then the cop, the officer John, like, what's her face? Ramon. Yeah, she's just like, what are you doing there? It's like, oh, sorry, officer, I'm trying to get into my own car. It's just like looking as shady as possible. But anyways, he gets his gift, and it's like this bracelets thing. He wears it, and it becomes more greedy. So he's like becomes this. I want to say, like he's like a goblin of some sort, right? Or some kind of monster, green creature type thing, right? And he's just like, I'm gonna like he basically because in Ep's the his personification becomes tenfold, where it's just like all about money, money, money type of thing, right? And then we get a character that we haven't seen for a while, which was, I think, Mrs. Smith is what her name is, the lady who runs the jewelry
Oh yeah, the goldsmith.
the goldsmith place. And she's like, "You gotta take that thing off." He's like, "Never." He's like, "All right, how much do you want me? I'll pay for it." And he's just like, "Well, wait a minute, I can't have that. It's my." And then he basically snaps back from normal. It's like, "Wait, what the fuck am I doing?" I think he originally was going after people to steal their money or something like that. Like literally just Mr. Krabs.
Or that one scene, or that one scene in Toy Story where Andy was playing with Mr. Potato Head as
Yeah,
one of
money,
the
money, money,
kids.
money,
It's like, ooh, money, money,
money,
money.
money, money, money. Yeah, literally, it's the Mr. Krabs scenario. So yeah. Anyways, basically it for that update. It was pretty short. It like I did like the Christmas decorations. It wasn't too bad. It was one of those time of the years that they actually put snow on the ground and also snow in the buildings, so it made it feel more festive. And the items they introduced they were okay. Like one of the biggest problems at first, when the first year of Goosebumps came out, was that there wasn't really anything scary decorations. They were like decorations, right? But eventually they added some interesting decorations in the future. But at first it was just like, oh, here's some Christmas stuff and maybe some slightly spooky things. But I kind of passed it off. It was like, whatever, it's festive. I don't care as much. But yeah, that's basically it, I think. Is there anything else on your end?
Um, let's see. Christmas presents. I did like the design of the Christmas present creatures, though.
Yeah, that was a fun thing too.
I do know that during the fucking accursed elf attack one, they did reuse the malignant coal as the grand prize for the scene.
Oh yeah. Still remember the dialogue with Chris is like, ho ho, you should be scared. Elves who win manager post gets a 35 years. It's like, wow, mister, I'm gonna tell your boss. It's like, wait, I'm joking.
I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna
And I
talk to
can
your
like,
manager. Then he
yeah, and
goes
I
through
can
his whole
imagine Lucy
Joker
having the
arc.
fucking.
I love it too
I can
because he's.
imagine Lucy having like the. Oh, I was gonna say I can imagine like Lucy having the fucking Karen haircut.
I did that to Mr. Mortman in one of the shorts recently. What was funny too is it's like a whole, oh hey Chris, what's up? He's like, I'm not Chris, I'm Santa Claus. Oh God.
Oh yeah, doesn't Chris live with his mom or some shit?
No, I don't know if he lives with his mom, but he did talk to his mom over the phone.
And
Also,
because I thought that Chris lived with his mom.
it's possible. I can't remember for the life of me. I know his mom was
I
mentioned.
mean, if he's getting a I mean, if he's getting a Santa Claus gig to pay bills and shit, I don't know if he even has his own fucking house yet.
He kind of
Like,
does.
I know
Well, I
he
mean,
probably splurged some money on a fucking motorcycle.
yeah, that was the thing too. He rides on a motorcycle on the streets. It's like, not on the streets, it's like on the sidewalk. It's like, what the fuck's wrong with him? He is really a rebel. But anyways, what's funny about it is that what was it? One of the weird things about him is his house is literally just a Christmas facade. It's basically based off of
Yeah,
something in real
exactly.
life. But it makes me
Yeah.
wonder what kind of how like it's implied that this guy is just pretending to be Santa Claus, so it's not like really Santa Claus in. So I said that wrong word.
I always thought that he was like I kind of felt like he sort of is like the
That's what I
incarnation
like
of
to
Santa
think.
Claus, but just going through like an existential crisis.
That's what I like to think, anyways. But yeah, that's kind of
Yeah.
where we went with that. But yeah, anyways, yeah. It again, Chris is not a bad character that got introduced. He was interesting, but it was an interesting idea. Like at first we thought, oh, obviously they're gonna do the 12 Screams of Christmas because that's the only Christmas book that was made, and they're like, no, no, we're doing this. I was like, oh, okay. You got evil Santa Claus.
Wait, wasn't the Most Wanted series still in production by that point?
No, it was still out. No, the thing that was in production was Slappy World.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was like I thought the I keep getting my timelines fucked up, but I thought it was during the Most Wanted series, but
No, but anyways, I think that's about it for that because I can't think of anything else.
yeah, I got nothing.
All right, so we'll take a bit of a breather and we'll come back.
Yeah.
Give us a moment. Anyways, we're back. So this is going to be an interesting update to talk about. Mind you, this
Oh
is going to
yeah.
be a little bit different in the sense that it may not be a long talk as we usually done, which is okay because again, it's a season, it's a Christmas season. You probably don't want to hear us blab on too much. You probably have some things going on in the background.
And if
But
you do want to hear us go on and on, then you're probably secretly a sociopath.
you can listen to our older episodes. How about that? Our obsession with Susie for sure. That's alright. I didn't talk much about her. No, anyways.
Yeah.
So, as one of the things we mentioned in the past was a user by the name of Tower of Obscure, I think.
Towers of Towers of Obscure.
Yeah. So he was introduced. I think he's in DeviantArt. He was introduced via
Yeah.
through Vampire. He mentioned it, and then he kind of got
Mhm.
into it. So now he kind of started doing his own little what if updates that I got involved with. So what we're gonna do is we're taking one of the looks into that, which is uh be can't believe I can't remember the name. The Curse of Camp Cold Lake.
The first
So
Camp Cold Lake. Yeah.
that's the update we're looking into. And how this is going to work is we're going to learn, like, you're going to read his thing there. And from there, I'm basically going to be taking what elements we have and just kind of make a story out of it. I read it, so I have some ideas what we're going to be doing with this, but the rule of basically would be whatever he says is what we're going to have to work with, and we can change it slightly. So,
Well,
for example, in this case, it's going to be instead of a summer update, it's going to be a Christmas update. So I have an idea how that's
yeah,
going to go
because
about.
didn't the story of Camp Cold Lake take place in December, story wise?
Does it? I don't remember. I thought it took place in the summer.
I'm not 100% sure because I remembered like a lot of people referring to it as like a sort of Christmas story.
Let me look at this because now I'm curious what the hell this takes place in. Yeah, but the gimmick with Camp Cold Lake is that it got its name because the lake is always cold, and they assumed it was because it's a lake that's filled with seaweed, so they're like, oh, maybe the seaweed had something to do with it, right?
Yeah.
But we'll see. Anyways, uh, was it like swimming and going to camp? So I'm assuming it must be in the summer because why would you go in the swimming in the winter unless you're crazy? You're
Unless
crazy.
you're a psychopath.
Yeah. Christmas is ruined forever. Anyways, yeah, so we're gonna read his synopsis of what he has on his page. From there, we'll try to come up with an update on the spot from this perspective, and I have an idea of what we can go about this, but we'll see what leads onto this conversation. So read away.
So yeah, you're right. It did take place at during summer at a camp. So I don't know where the whole Christmas thing came into.
I think it because of the cold. It's like, ooh, cold equals snow. It's the logic of snow equals Christmas. Because snow
Cold
takes
means
place during Christmas, therefore winter. You know that logic
yeah,
behind that. So, anyways, then the color, by the way, is like what white and dark blue or turquoise or something like that. So it's like it kind of gives off that kind of wintry feel. And then, of course, you have the skeletal ghost in the water, which is very iconic, which I'm assuming that's Della.
yeah,
So, anyways, speaking of Della, she's the main character that's going to get introduced in this story. Basically, from the description of, he also used her as a description. I have an idea of what I'm going to be doing with her per se, as well as the scene in question, but Anyways, what did he has down for the viewers at home?
Give me a pepperoni. I'm almost. Sorry, I was just putting in some additional things on something. Anyway, so I'm gonna skip past the introduction to how Obscure found us in particular, because it would take up a little bit too much time. So I'm gonna skip to the part where how they envision Della in Horror Town, because at the time this was a concept for just Della, but it goes into a bit of their concept of Camp Cold Lake. So it goes as follows. Della, when she was alive, was a shy but mischievous teen who was always being left out of camp, probably because she was pulling pranks on everyone. But the counselors didn't notice. Like Sarah, she even tried to fake drowning to get her peers and even only the few closest friends there to like her. Well, it backfired when she was mysteriously consumed by the lake. No one even bothered to get the lifeguards or the counselors at the time. It led to a major controversy, leaving the camp abandoned, and some say that Della's restless spirit still lives in the lake, waiting for someone to join her. And no, I don't want to go into any intricate Ranma half-style drowning reincarnations.
Well, no, the
There
other
were some.
thing too is it kind of sounds a little bit Jason Voorhees origin story going on there.
Oh, hang on. It goes on, you know.
Oh, I know. Keep going.
Uh, now, why? Uh, now, I know what you're probably thinking. This is all in parentheses. Why didn't she drown? She would have made 100 times more sense. Maybe Stein might have been fearing a lawsuit at the time, given that Dilla's two main inspirations are Sadako from The Ring and Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th. But a lawsuit over that sounds stupid, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, that was all in parentheses. But anyway, continuing on to the next paragraph. Taking advantage of this dark controversy, even without Mayor Johnson's approval, some of the Horrorland horrors have decided to expand their business outward and turn Camp Cold Lake into a water park. Plus, it's a lake inhabited by a vengeful ghost girl. What more could they ask? Of course, Stella doesn't want any of this exploitation, probably why she keeps sabotaging the water park's construction. Of course, even she can't keep this up herself, so she heads to Horror Town to see if anyone will help her with her little predicament. Camp Cold Lake is its own individual area with five, maybe four and a half special areas with it. The abandoned girls' cabin, which is the crafting shop, the Cold Lake itself, which is the supplier, and the water park construction area, which gets bigger as the storyline progresses. The finished Hydra slide, a finished version of the construction area with six conjoining slides positioned way above the lake. Way above the lake, all leading towards it. And the bottom of the lake, its own individual area with plenty of secrets. Only one of the slides reaches down there, and chances you'll come back are slim, unless you're a ghost like Della. The currency for this event is algae, long, slimy strands of algae that are abundant in the lake. Maybe that's why it's so cold. Why it glows in the dark is anyone's guess. The raw item of this event is friendship bracelets. Most campers of Camp Cold Lake's past, Della included, often made these as means of keeping tradition. Better kept on hand than turned into the horrors water park. It says vouchers, but I guess they mean to say souvenirs.
Yeah.
Her fellow campers treated her like crap when she was alive, and she fears being abused by the horrors for her project. Will she succeed? Will a compromise be necessary? And how will she adapt to Horror Town in the after story? And that's it.
Right. So I love the idea that Chiller's behind this. It's like, Jonathan Chiller, you have it again. So here's my take. So I think I like the idea that the bracelets and the seaweed would be like the seaweed be the raw item, and then the bracelets would be the event currency, especially
Well,
since you can make it
well,
Christmas related.
well, I'm sure had that the other way around, but yeah, I can see that working.
I think it's better that way because the bracelet seems more like a decoration, while the seaweed looks more like a raw product to make.
Well, with me, the algae is the currency, but the raw item is actually the cold lake water, like similar to the poison lake water, but cold lake.
Yeah. I wonder how they're gonna do it. So it'd be like a pond actually when you think about it if it was brought into the game.
Yeah.
But anyways, my thought process of this was be that Schiller wants to expand his Horrorland construction thing by wanting
Yeah.
to make a snow resort because he's just like, well, I need some people to stay around, so I want to make a ski resort, type of thing. We could even go to the double dip horror if we really want to, which no, we did mention previously in one of the updates. I think he did before, if I'm not
Yeah, it
mistaken.
was in Tune In Tomorrow.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was
So
part. I think it was like part.
two,
Was it part 1 or part 2?
one of the parts. It was like a double dip
Yeah, it was
Sunday.
Tune In Tomorrow. That's all I know.
Double dip Sunday. Anyways, um, with that though, I like to imagine that this would be relationship to most of the cult stuff. So I imagine the spawn scene, like the idea behind why I think he picked Code Lake was one, real estate from probably Compton Dawes. He was just like, here's a prime Z real estate. No one wants to buy this because it's cursed. And he's just like, take it. So. But my thought process is that Cold Lake is infamous for the fact of the whole scene that he brought up there. But I also like to imagine that due to the fact that Cold Lake is always cold, it doesn't freeze. It's just cold, right? So that's the gimmick with it. So it's just like
Yeah.
you can use this as a way to take the lake water and then make basically the idea behind it is that it will never a snow that never melts. So it's like it'll be forever wonderland, even in the summer, right? So
Yeah.
we probably had commissioned this fucking machine that kind of pumps water out from the pond to make the snow pile. Like one of those snow blowers that does the snow thing. Like what you see in some mountain resorts kind of do that type of thing. I can imagine him doing the same thing, but this is like magic snow now, so you can make
Oh yeah.
the ice vampires if you really want to, or the ice cobras. Actually, that would make sense to do the ice vampires because at the end of that story, the ice
Well,
cobra they made turned into like it's implied that it became alive.
yeah, but the unfortunate thing is I already mentioned all those in part 1 of Tune In Tomorrow. The Ice
Yeah,
Vampire, the Double Dip Horror,
yeah.
the
I mean,
Cobra.
yeah, who cares?
I already mentioned all
Who
that stuff.
cares? We talked about Susie Snowflake a bunch of fucking times.
Yeah, but technically that's Meanie. It's Meanie, not Susie. Totally different
Oh,
character.
don't care.
Totally original
I don't care.
character.
We can bring up whatever the fuck we want.
It's
No,
totally original character, Donut Steel.
no, but what I mean is that, they had that Susie Snowflake mentioned in the update we talked about Captain Chris is present, and then actual character in the third update. So who cares? More vampire. It's easy assets. It's already made, so all you have to do
Well,
is just take that thing and put it in the game, and done. Easy.
well, how about this? How about this? We could do like a special promotion type thing where it would just be called like Winter Horrorland, and it would have like certain aspects from like every other past Christmas event, including our own. So
There you
you
go.
have like some from Tune In Tomorrow. You have some from Shop Till You Drop. Some from Attack of the Christmas Presents. All that.
Yeah, and
And one of them,
the what
and
was
yeah,
it? The puppet people.
yeah, and the puppet people, and one of those things that we can implement is the ice vampire and ice cobra, as well as some of the other shit that was in Tune In Tomorrow, like the
And then
snow
also, yeah,
globes.
and also
The
Bella, because that was the last update ever made, and then yeah. But anyways, so what would you suggest to be the spawn scene here as far as monsters that get spawned? Because I don't think he mentioned anything. Like he mentioned uh an item which is the slide, basically the his version of the Tower of Doom, the slides of Doom.
you mean the Doom slide?
Yeah,
You mean the Doom slide?
winter. Yeah, but winter. No, the what do you call it?
It was okay. So he wanted to do like the same progression style decoration that we had with the star tree and the
Oh
haunted
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Jacko.
So you could do that for this one here. So we can apply that there. So it's like it
And I
gets
called it the
more.
hydro. I called it the Hydra slide.
Yeah, so we can do that as an item that kind of drops some interesting item, maybe.
And on top of like it being a progression item, I also have it as a promenade supplier, which drops the cold lake water.
Yeah,
As for the spawn scene, I have the cold lake itself, which spawns poisonous water snakes, and for the final scene, it would include Della.
yeah. So speaking of Della, I think she should have a human form. Like, not to say that she doesn't have a human form, but I mean that she's mostly just associated with being the skeleton, you know, the what do you call it, the Ringuli. By the way, that's why I mentioned the whole
It's
ring.
called an Onryo, by the way.
Yeah, that.
I- And I do like the idea of Della being like a type of Onryo type character, just being like a really creepy ghost-like girl. And
Yeah,
many people wouldn't notice that she's like a ghost downright. Like she just thinks that she's like moody or goth or some shit.
yeah.
Kind of like how Dustin
Obsessed.
was too stupid to it's kind of like how Dustin was so stupid that he didn't know that Saber was a monster when he was wearing that fucking mask.
I can see a yandere certain aesthetics with her, especially being obsessive with one of the characters. I mean, in the story, it's supposed to be Sarah, I think that was in the game. So, yeah, another Sarah, but
Yeah, it would be like someone like Lucy or some shit.
I would think why not have, well, because it's a teenager, so why not have actual Sarah Quinn be involved this time around? Because she's the only character that hasn't really got an associated story with her.
Yeah, I guess outside of Haunted
My
Halloween, that's true.
thought process would be in the sense that she's talking to Courtney and she's talking about the fact that it's like, oh, well, I mean, I'm on this Many Mysteries Club. It would be interesting if you came along. It's just like, nah, not part. Kind of like how she is in the Halloween update. She's like, nah, I don't want to be part of it. I'm good though. Like how Courtney was in the beginning, right? But then she'll end up kind of coming along afterwards because I'm sure she probably doesn't realize that maybe monsters exist. Like she knew like the Halloween thing and the stuff that happened there, but she just thought that
Yeah.
it was just a Halloween thing. She doesn't think actual spirits and monster stuff exists per se.
So in terms of the crafting station, it said they went with the abandoned girls' cabin
Yeah, I
for
can see that.
the no, but I changed it to the mess hall because I think it makes a little bit more sense.
We already have the mess hall though.
Well, this one would just be like the Cold Lake mess hall. So it would look like a little bit more deteriorated than the other mess hall and just go by a different name. It's kind of like what they did with the Dark Falls chemical lab, you know?
I guess, but then also they had a mess hall for the school, haunted school, didn't they?
Well, yeah, they did, but again, this could just be named differently. And yeah, it would just be named differently. Like it might look different, but it would just be named differently. So that way it doesn't get confused with the one from the haunted school.
No, the abandoned mess hall could be a possibility.
Yeah, yeah, we could do abandoned mess hall.
So there's that. I want to think though, with like, is she basically her monster form regardless, or should she have a human form? Because she is a girl.
Um, I feel like she would most likely just be her Onryo self.
See, I like to think that she has a human form just because, and here's my takeaway with this. She doesn't like the idea that Chiller is coming into the actual watery, like the actual cold lake to fuck things up. Because again,
Yeah, that would.
she died in that pond, so she became almost like the spirit of the pond itself, right? Because
Yeah, it would
she
mean
was the
that her rest would. It would mean that her rest would be disturbed, and that would make her extremely angry, and
the
that's
lady of the
typically
lake.
what
Yeah, she's
Onryos
literally
are.
the lady of the lake almost in a sense, right? But
Yeah,
so she
they're just like really angry ghosts. But because they're fueled by anger, I don't really see Della just going around casually as like a human looking child.
no, here's what I'm thinking. Just bear with me on this. The reason I think that she would have a human form is because she's going to try to, because as a ghost, she can't really do anything as far as actual trying to manipulate the said machine in question. So because she's a trickster, she's gonna try to make characters like Lucy Dustin believe that something more mischievous is going on with Jonathan Schiller, which they would believe
Right.
because they've dealt with him before. So it's like, oh, obviously he's up to no good, right? Whereas Chiller's is literally trying to do a business thing. So comes the meddling kids trying to destroy this machine, only to be revealed later on. It's just like, thank you for helping me, you know, because again, she should probably trick them into thinking otherwise, and then she would have this gaslighting feature where it's just like, the horrors might be doing something, and he's like, oh, they're making ice vampires, they're gonna be haunting this. It's like, no, that's not possible. It's like, oh, but I've seen it before. Believe me, I live. It's like, how do you know all this stuff? It's like, oh, well, I live by the lake. I reside there. Yeah.
Well, quote unquote living by the lake
Yeah, well,
would
I mean,
be, you know, would be
let's
something
just
I could
let's
see
just say
happening.
that
But
let's just say that I reside close to the lake.
well, no, I can see you're saying that I live by the lake, sort of.
Yeah.
But
Be like I could like be almost native in a sense, but not really. But you know what I mean. It's just in
but
that
we'd
sense that
also but we would also probably have to incorporate her wanting to drag someone into the lake with her.
which would be Sarah.
Right. So
That'd
instead
be
of like
best
getting
buddies.
Lucy or Dustin or all that, we would most likely get like Sarah involved.
That's where the yandere comes into play. It's just like you and I would be friends, right, Sarah? I mean, sure, I guess. We'll be friends forever. Come in. Come in with me. We'll be friends forever. We'll be ghoul friends forever.
Oh God, cheesy puns and all.
Yeah, the ghoul the merrier.
But in terms of decorations, I have the motorboat, the under construction horror sign. There's a lodge involved, and of course the Hydra slide progression thing.
Yeah.
For crafting, I only have the cold lake water, which is the raw item, and friendship bracelet is the one of the tiers for the Camp Cold Lake. But that's currently what I have so far.
Yeah, I get that. So again, I would assume the story, like again, I like the idea of the story being in the sense that Chiller is trying to expand his business, that he's
Yeah.
in the position of trying to make a winterized horror land attraction that basically be kind of like like those mountain ski resorts things. I'm assuming he's trying to do something like that, but horrorland themed. And the reason why you use a cold lake is because, again, this allows them to be able to have snow all year round. So it'll be like, it won't be like a dead seasonal thing. It'll be like you can go any time of the year, even a hot day of summer. Fucking come down on the mountain, be a tourist attraction
Right.
because of the magical properties of the cold lake water. Because, again, scientists don't know what the hell is going on with it.
Right.
The only scientist person who ever did water thing was like Dr. Brewer, and that was because he was doing something with the Cold Lake water with Seder, selling it as pop.
Oh yeah, that was
Could you?
poison lake water, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Or
could you imagine that Cold Lake water be like just remind me of something, I'm sorry.
going through the
I was thinking of
going through the
um
go ahead.
I was thinking, I'll bring up what I was laughing at in a moment, but like bubbly water in a sense, like cold water, like
The
not
soda?
yeah, like not like a soda, but like a fuzzy water. You know what I mean?
Oh, like sparkling water or
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah,
uh, carbonated water?
yeah. In the sense that okay, so what I
Because I
was la
remember Poison Lake doing like a lake soda or whatever it was called.
yeah,
I know I had
so
that listed too.
yeah,
Trying to
but
find it.
anyways, what I was laughing at previously because I remember. Do you remember there was this meme where they were talking about like what was it? There was a Star Wars thing where this country was trying to get Star Wars in there, so they had to sneak in some advertising in there. So it's like the beer company.
Cerveza Cristal. Cerveza Cristal.
Sorry, what was that?
Look up Star Wars beer commercial.
Star Wars beer commercial?
Yeah. So what this was is that they would subliminally put advertising in the fucking movie, and it was so blatant and bad. but it blended so well. So, for example, Obi-Wan would go for, like, your father wanted me to give this at the right age, and it was supposed to be him grabbing the lightsaber, right? But instead, he goes in the cooler and brings up this beer, and then it's just advertising the beer all of a sudden. It's like Sedat's Kilisto, I think it was what it's called, but it becomes a meme. Because it's like, how many fucking times this comes up? It's just like, oh, he's gonna bring up the beer! It's so...
Anyway, it was called Lake Soda.
Yeah. Yeah, Lake Soda, that was what it was, but...
I was actually thinking about doing a whole fucking soda bit with the Cold Lake one, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of why I wanted to make the Cold Lake water the raw item.
Makes sense.
But unfortunately, I didn't really have time to come up with like every other thing because, I'm still juggling with a whole bunch of other shit.
Nah, with the book stuff
But
and whatnot.
yeah, that's pretty much it. What ideas would we have for animations for Della, at least?
I would think her... You know what? Give me a second, because I could have sworn I actually did write some of this stuff down. So I'm going to try to look at
Yeah,
my past stuff.
yeah, because I thought you had like a thing for Cold Lake already.
I did, but then also you're like, well, you can't use that anymore because I already talked about it, and that's the rules.
What?
That's what you said.
I didn't say you couldn't fucking talk about it.
That's what it was implied.
I didn't imply that at all. Where the fuck did you get that?
Well, like the ice vampires, like, oh, no, can't do that. Sorry, we already did that.
Well, that's the ice vampire. I didn't say you couldn't do fucking Camp Cold Lake. What?
I mean, kinda, yeah.
No, I didn't fucking say that. I didn't even imply that either.
Let me see if I can find this shit. Okay, so I think it's in this. God fucking damn it! I wanted to go back here. Yeah, so Della. So Della's building I had was the Cold Lake Cabin.
Oh yeah.
Scare decoration, Camp Cold Lake float. A winter-themed parade float with the look of the book cover being displayed. Can have fun with it and make it festive-filled Christmas theme. Yeah, I actually like that idea. Just make it a, what do you call it? So her spawn monster form was supposed to be kind of, yeah, so the cover art thing. Crafting hair dryer was one of the things I got here. Scare decoration, frozen snake. We had a
Wait, hair
cold
dryer?
Yeah, as a crafting,
Was that for the ice vampire thing?
I guess. There was an item, there was a scare decoration called a Cold Reaper. Be a frozen Grim Reaper, like showing in the picture. Double dip, building supplier, double dip lift, and then, examples of that. So it's basically, imagine a ski lift, but like completely frozen with snow and ice, so it's like broken in that sense.
Right.
Decoration, Cold Lake sign. Crafting item, ice pick. Winter's Wrath. Okay, so here's some animations I got going on when it comes to her. There's 3. There's the carrying snakes, which is kind of like based off of the what she does in the book. So it's like literally just carrying, like has a bunch of snakes in her hands. It's just kind of like, type of thing of that nature.
Right.
There's the acting cold, which is just the sitting down on the bench or just kind of doing the whole shivering type of thing, is what I had.
Right.
And then the other thing I had was crying, which was supposed to be this idea, but because again, if it were doing the human facade and then the monster form being the skeletal thing, that she would be like covering like her hands, kind of like looking like she's crying, only to go boo with her real form, her real face, and then kind of doing the laughing thing before doing it again.
Right.
So that's something there. So one of the items, the crafting station was supposed to be an ice cream cone lodge. Okay. Another crafting item, hot coal. Supply building, burning tree.
Burning tree.
Yeah, imagine a tree, like actually like a dead tree, but then instead of the leaves, it's fire.
Okay.
Another crafting item here is an ice cube. So ice spelled with I-Y-I. So it's like an I in a cube of ice.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Another building is the main lodge entrance. Another crafting station for a food court lodge. Okay. Building a sky lodge, or whatever. Deluxe guest cabin for buildings. Another one is a guest cabin. Old Camp Cold Lake cabin, which we've kind of mentioned before. Oh, this is fun.
Yeah.
So this is something that Erasmo came up with. So crafting ice potato, a traditional original, yeah,
Ice
a,
potato.
yeah, a traditional original product of the Cold Lake surroundings. This has a look of transparency glass made potato, but they are edible, loosely based on the glass clear potato chip. This could be made mixing with groceries and winter wrap or iCube as a level 2 crafting. Then there's the
Right.
ghostly French fries, which again, some blue colored or transparent French fries made for the crafting station of the Cold Lake. Then there's, yeah, so then they had like these little faces here. The Poltergeist Poutine, because you gotta have that. Nothing says screams Canadian winter like ghostly poutine, right? We got the cool like.
Jeez, I can imagine Della being fucking Canadian, and she's like, "I'm gonna
Oh,
drag you in, eh?
you come in, eh? What are you
Hey, you
talking
wanna come
about?
drown with the lake? Hey, you
All
wanna come
right.
drown with me in the lake? Sorry to bother you, but
Yeah.
it'd be kind of nice to have a buddy, eh?"
What are you talking about?
It's like
Sorry.
I don't really want to drown in the lake. Oh, come on, don't be so scared. It's nice and
Sorry.
cold and everything.
Oh, sorry. I
I don't
didn't
know
mean
what
to
you're so
upset
worried
you.
about. I
Oh,
don't know
sorry.
what
I
you're
didn't
so
mean to.
worried about.
Yeah, I don't mean to upset you. Sorry. Cool like salmon, so it's a salmon, but with like a salmon with half of his body frozen in an ice cube. This fish survived the deepest part of the lake. And then there's maple salmon, which is actually a nice food dish. The Cool Lake Special, which is a mixed dish of maple salmon and ghost French fries. This has a monstrous look face made with the salmon and the fries. Level 3, 4, depending on the whatever.
I'm surprised
Decorations
you
here.
didn't have any. I was gonna say I'm surprised you didn't have anything called cold cod or cold lake cod or something.
Yeah, I remember. Mayday, Mayday, what do you mean? I said French fries! What the? Do we have French fries? Uh, Anyways, decorations he has a pair of skis as well as a snowboard. Then there's the
Right.
Cool Lake rental kiosk. Okay. Double dip ski lessons as a decoration. So I'm guessing it's a kiosk covered in snow that has an outside clock or signals showing hours or lessons in skis. Has a double dip mountain image on one side. Scare scene. Unfinished ice sculpture. I guess they're going with the whole ice vampire thing. Animations. Dustin, snow sledding. Dustin goes down, excited, raising his hands up in practice fancy until reaching the end. The end, he grabs his snow sled and to repeat it. The
Right.
decoration in question that goes in is the practice mountain facility. So basically, it's a small little, the baby hills that you see. So I can see that. Another animation with her, Lucy practicing skiing. Lucy, with a lot of winter equipment, goes down the practice facility screaming, scared all the way down. She doesn't seem very good at skating. When she reaches the end, she looks relieved to go up to the facade again. Curly bobsledding. Curly with another generic skeleton bobsledder trot in the streets of HorrorTown. Side note, if Curly isn't possible, maybe look for another kid or character featured in the event. I actually like the idea, just Curly with the bobsled, just kind of just, pushing a bobsled around the neighborhood. It's cause,
I'm surprised he didn't have any. Wait, I'm surprised he didn't have any animations regarding skeleton sledding.
yeah. Well, I mean, I guess he didn't want to be too generic. Anyways, another animation
I thought
mirror.
it would have been a really clever joke, like Curly in like one of those winter suits, like going down a fucking uh, basically doing like a skeleton sledding
Yeah.
because that's like an actual thing.
Animation for the mayor cooking in the outside, which the mayor in winter clothes or not makes some food using a fireplace in the Sky Lodge manor or Cool Lake cabin. Drool or Trigger snowboarding. Drool or Trigger, another dog in Horrortown, goes down the practice mountain, could make some tricks to show off he's very good in the snowboard for being a dog. I suggest Trigger because he hasn't been used or had animation action, so adding at least one could be nice for the coin character.
Yeah.
Or something I added. Map winter terrain. If possible, it would be cool to see an update winter map for this event. Because I really wanted it, you know. And then the last thing I had here was a scare decoration, which was a cool like Christmas tree. So it's a scary Christmas tree with some ice on it and some spiders, I guess. So make it kind of look interesting. Yeah, so there were some interesting ideas we had back in the day. I'll give it that.
Oh,
So
yeah.
again, we could use one of those ideas for sure if we wanted. But yeah, that's what we got so far for that.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so
So
again,
you had like a whole different aspect to Cold Lake as opposed to Obscures. It was more related to like a fucking ski slope type thing.
yeah. So this one would be actual making a ski lodge with the cold lake in question.
Right.
Hence Christmas themed. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know why other people thought it was Christmas related too. I don't know if I'm just experiencing a Mandela effect or
it could be a Mandela. Maybe it was released. Hold on, when was it released? Maybe that's why.
like,
Maybe it was released
I
during
think I read it
Christmas.
as like June or July.
Let me see this. Maybe.
I read it as June or July.
Shit. Is it June 1997? Okay, so it was a summer book. God damn it. Damn, it was a Mandela effect. Curse you, Stein. Yeah, that's really. I'm sure we
Oh,
got.
there's a camp song apparently.
Oh yeah, there was a camp song with this story, basically talking about how Cold Lake is cold. Blah, blah, blah.
Weather is the weather is better. Get in the swim. Show your vigor and vim. Every son and daughter should be in the water, the cold, cold water of Camp Cold Lake.
That doesn't sound ominous at all.
Right? Like I could definitely see like fucking
Oh yeah,
I could
happy
see that
Lake.
being like a really like I could be that pardon the phrase, but I could see that being a really chilling, ominous tune that Della would sing to try to lure Sarah.
Oh, that would be a great fucking nod in the dialogue for sure.
Yeah. Like I can imagine her going like, "Weather is better. Get in the swim. Show your vigor and vim. Every son and daughter should be in the water, the cold, cold water of Camp Cold Lake." Something like that. I'm not really
Yes.
good with singing.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I think that digs it very well, honestly, in my opinion. Yeah,
That would throw in some spooky elements into something that's really needed, you know?
yeah, and reference it too. So we got those people with the Wojak going like, "Oh, they referenced the thing. I remember that. I read that from the book." But yeah, there's that. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else to talk about with this one. Yeah, it's kind of hard because it's mostly just a discussion. It's not really it's just going to be the story is how it's because again, At this point, I think what happened was at this point, it's like, well, game is fucking dead. Why bother?
Well, I still care, like, uh, because even though that the game is dead, like eventually down the line, someone would be inspired to make their own version of, Horror Town,
Or
and
a book.
might adopt our ideas. Who knows?
Yeah, like what I did with I made a book. I'm like, fine, I'll do it
Yeah.
myself. I'll make my own story with
Um,
blackjack and hookers.
did you have like a different story for Cold Lake compared to Obscures, or
No, I mean,
have you not gotten that far?
I kind of made a mention of what it was, which was blending the idea of Chiller coming in to make like basically instead of it being a summer lodge type of thing, making it more of a winter, kind of like a thing during Christmas time type of stuff. Nothing, it wouldn't be themed around. It basically is like the Santa Claus update in the sense that it's not really Christmas related, but it takes place during that time. So it's just like, yeah, sure, Christmas book. Yeah, so that's literally what we got going on here. So I thought, they see a machine pumping water out of the lake to make snow. That would have been an interesting animation, by the way. Like they have an item in like the actual facade of the promenade would be like actual machine kind of pumping water out of the lake, and then kind of seeing like snow particles kind of coming out of the machine, kind of like those snow
Oh, that
machines.
would be.
Yeah, wouldn't you think that would be kind of cool to see? Just kind of like, being like, oh, that's why there's snow on the ground. And you can have the snow be like the one they did back in, I want to say 2023. Yeah, like that was, no, I think it was 2022, actually, now I think about it, because they decorated the promenade to be all snow-defied. So,
Yeah.
it could be something like that, honestly, in my opinion, but that's just what I think. The story, I think it's hard to say. I mean, I think we have a rough idea of what the story could be like as far as with the generic, basically he's disturbing Della. Della doesn't like this, so she tries to trick some kids into basically stopping him and ruining his plans. Meanwhile, while also meeting with Sarah, who she ends up taking a liking to the point where it becomes a yandere-esque kind of relationship in the sense that she
Yeah.
wants a best friend, so she's like, "You could be my best friend." She does something, like Sarah does something unintentionally, like she's trying to be nice, but that comes off as like friendship.
I must have more of this friendship.
I have a bracelet for you. We'll be together forever in the lake.
And then
It's
she
not
starts
that
singing that creepy song.
bad. Yeah, it's not that bad. You died from drowning? No, I died from a snake bite. Want to have some?
It's like, I don't want to drown. Oh, don't worry, you're not going to drown.
Oh
Wait,
my god.
wait, didn't you die from drowning? No, not at all. Then how did you die? Pulls out a water snake.
Yeah, snakes. I hate snakes. Oh God!
It's like,
Don't show it to
uh,
Skelly. Oh, snakes! I hate snakes.
like I can imagine, like as soon as Della pulls out the fucking water snake, Sarah's just like, you know what? I think I'd rather fucking drown.
Yeah, it's God, never mind. It's kind of like what happened with. Just reminded of the Angry Video Game Nerd when he was doing the episode with Friday the 13th. It's just like Jason comes in, he's like, "Don't kill me." Shows the video game, he's like, "Kill me."
Yeah, it's like, no, I don't want to drown. Oh, you're not gonna drown. You're gonna die like me. Pulls out a water snake. Oh, fucking just drown me.
Ah, fuck it. Times in. Oh, fuck
Just
it.
drown me.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm trying to think. Is there anything else to add to this?
Unfortunately, I got nothing.
Too. I mean, we did a pretty decent job. That's like what, almost an hour of talking, discussing of this. So got a
Yeah,
blueprint of something to work with. So that's something to go about.
yeah. I think we might revisit it sometime in the future, but for the
We say that.
meantime,
We
that's
say another time. Good question. Another time. Maybe. We might go to it. We might not. Again, I have a book now, so. Oh, God. Anyways. Yeah. So I guess that's it for now, right?
Yeah.
Alright. Well, I guess now it's time to do the end clip thing. So here's your hints in the next episode.
To get back our super sugar crisp cereal. Can't get enough of that sugar crisp.
I'm having a hard time seeing. Homer, did you remember to put the fog lights in?
Guess I forgot to put the fog lights in.
I still remember that one of the best part of the episode was the fact that he got, like, I still remember this. After they run over Ned, they're like, I have an idea. He's just like, hey, Maud, guess who's up here? Ned, is that you? Hi, Maud. Diddley. That was my pal Homer. Diddley. Oh, you got me scared. You know how you get when it comes to the fog? Relax, I'm fine. But if I do die, I don't want any autopsies. I'll get down here, silly goose. Whoa, it sure is high from up here. Ah, she missed it. All right, plan B. Honey, I'm home. Oh, I think I'm having a heart attack. Here's her scream like the perfect crime. I still love that. It's the best. I don't want any autopsy. The best. What made me laugh? It wasn't the whole playing the God. What was that? Weekends at what was it?
Oh, I know what you did last summer.
Yeah, no, well, yeah, that. But I mean that there's a movie where they pretend a dead guy was alive. So the Weekend at Bernie's. That's it. It's kind of like Weekend at Bernie's bit. Yeah, it's like a Weekend at Bernie's bit. But my what made me laugh was she missed it. You see Ned, it's just like his back's broken on the doghouse. He's just like the way he looks. Oh, she missed it. I thought you died. Yep, he's dead. He said, poking his eye. Yep, he's dead. Can't get enough of that sugar crisp. Homer, did you put the fog lights in? Guess I forgot to put the fog lights in.
I love that joke.
Yeah. Well, no harm lost. He was a zombie? Anyway, yeah, so that's it for the Christmas episode. Hope you enjoyed it. It was very festive, I'll give it that. Anyways, the next episode is our season 2 finale, so look forward to that, where we take a look at our past year, how well we did. Hopefully we have our co-hosts as well, and then see how that turns out for next year's season 3. But anyways, I've been Grim.
And I'm Bob, and this is Bob, and this is also Bob, and that's Larry.
Yeah, don't talk about Larry. Yeah. And I hope you have a Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, a Crazy Kwanzaa, and all those other Crazy Kwanzaa, hip-tucked in a respectable Ramadan. That's a wrap.
Yeah. See ya.